Let's talk about controlling your world. So you may have heard that to succeed, you need to adjust yourself to the world around you. You may have heard the phrases like, just make it easy on yourself and agree, or you'd better get used to it because that's the way it is. Or to be happy, you must compromise. Or you've got to be tolerant. Or maybe don't make waves. That was said to me a lot when I was at school. However, to be truly successful, you need to take a different approach. This is a place where those who suspect they're innately wise, brilliant and powerful come to learn how to transform their lives, one cognition, one realization, and one blinding flash of the obvious at a time. We are the innovators, the record breakers, the world makers and creators of all kinds. We supersede the suppressive worldview of mass ignorance and awaken the strength within. We are waking up to our innate secrets. My name is Dr. Mark Postles and welcome to the Innate Secrets podcast. The goal is to force, is to dominate. It doesn't have anything to do with dominating others. It's not about force. People control their young children initially through physical force, and you'll notice this. It's using size and using the mass and the presence of the adult human over a little child is quite compelling, and children will obey very, very easily. However, as children grow up, they tend to resist the physical. They grow to their teens and they're often bigger than their parents. And so that's where emotional force then starts to be played out. And it's a manipulation of another person in many respects to create an outcome that the one person's wanting. And after a period of time, then emotional force gets seen through. And so mental games are played, mental force is used. Manipulation, and ultimately, as the children become adults, then probably the last bastion of force left to a parent is financial force, and bribes of various sorts, as were used in the emotional and the mental areas, also become useful and used in the financial areas. So this is not what we're talking about. Control is much, much more than that. It's not about controlling with force. It is about controlling yourself first, though, then adjusting your environment to yourself, not by adjusting yourself to the environment, but also not by adjusting other people to your environment. And that's the catch there. This is a tricky one. So to be successful, you change the world around you. And you take the opportunity with the resources that you've got, and you may see, well, I don't have resources, I don't have money, maybe I don't have time, I don't have contacts, but you always have resources around you. It's just about looking for them. So the first step in this is to decide what you want and where you're going, what direction you're going to go in, and then the first step is taking that active role. Is taking the role into the resources that are available around you. So if you think of the most successful people you know, do they mold themselves just to fit in, or do they change things around them? Do they see things that are not okay and they dream of a better way? They see a way in which something can come out of nothing. And I bet that they change the world to what they want. So consider it this way. You take two people. The first, person A, wants to get along with and not cause any trouble. So, get along with everyone and just have peace. Well, the neighbour in the apartment next door plays this loud country and western music all night long. So person A then buys earplugs. So this person detests that his apartment building has rubbish all lying around outside and over the pavement. But he just steps around it and does nothing to change the situation. His other neighbour is always asking him to pick up something, a little item from the store when he goes out, And plus the neighbour often forgets to pay him for the goods. So person A feels used, but he never complains. So every year, person A develops some sort of illness and always seems to have dramas with it, always seems to have some sort of complications. He broke his arm one year, the next he strained his ankle, the next it was a time when he was hospitalised with asthma, the next year it was eczema, and so it went. And after 25 years working at the same job that he didn't like and only making minimum wage, person A is very frustrated with life, and he just accepts it though. It's just, this is how it is. This is the way it's meant to be. He justifies it to himself and others. Well, it could be worse, and at least he still has a job. And, maybe it's just my lot in life. Maybe just it's bad luck that I happen to have all this stuff going on. But unfortunately, at the age of 51, he gets cancer and he dies. So let's transpose that one to person B moves into person A's apartment. And she can't sleep because of the neighbour's loud country and western music. So she speaks with the neighbour and works out an agreement. So the neighbour plays music during certain times of the day while she's out and doesn't play music at night. So then she gets the other tenants together and they have them agree, or she has them agree, that it's worth cleaning up the junk around the building. So they all buy into that and they have a nice place looking quite amazing in just a few hours. So person B's career goes from strength to strength, as does her pay. And it's certainly benefited in many respects by the environment that she's created so far. Then she decides to go into business by herself and she risks it, but she does it. And it goes gangbusters. She invests her money wisely and soon owns an apartment block and lives in the penthouse. And she's never sick and maintains an active life, still joyfully working in her business at 85, 90 years old. So person A adjusted himself to the environment, while person B adjusted the environment to herself. And the question has to be, which one are you more like? Person A or person B? Whereabouts do you just accept that this is my lot in life? Just accept that this is the way it has to be. Just accept that others are doing things that you don't like, but there's nothing you can do about it. Or do you know deep down that you can be person B, that you are person B, that you do have an ability to create control? Not dominance, just control. So let's try on a few to-dos on this one. How can you take over your life and adjust your world to your needs and wants? So what are the things that you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to have? What's the needs and the wants and the love tos that you would like to surround yourself with? Because that's often the first place where people miss the boat, because they haven't defined what it is that they want in their life. And then maybe point 2 is make a list of every little thing around you that you'd like to change. And things like, cleaning up the cupboards that's full of junk and recover money that a friend owes you, or a business acquaintance owes you, or customers owe you. And there's nothing as uplifting as that. It's just, having that, getting to that point where you say, okay, I need to clear all these little outstanding debts. And I'm sure life will go on fine without recovering them, but there's something greater than that. And it's about these details. It's about having control over it, having control over the money that you've earned. So, getting a phone call or getting onto a phone call that you've been procrastinating on, making sure that you are squeaky clean with everybody in your sphere of influence. Maybe it could be committing to a personal trainer, starting meditating. Maybe it's outsourcing some jobs. Maybe it's reorganizing your desk or your room, your garage, your house, your yard. And maybe it's getting an outside agency such as Citi to fix a broken stop sign or a street light or something that's been bugging you. So the third area would be select the easiest item on your list to do. Whatever you need to do, get it done. So, don't go for the hardest thing. Go for the easy ones. Get some of the easy ones knocked off. And with that, you'll start to gather a momentum around getting some stuff cleaned up. So you go to the next easiest, then the next, and so forth. So I guess the question is, do you give up or do you not accept reality? Do you not accept that this is the way it has to be? Do you question it? Are you disruptive around it? Do you say, no, I can have this in a different way? So make steady progress while maintaining your control of the parts you've already conquered. Because it's very easy to let things go again. So it's about a discipline of mind. It's a discipline of habits, discipline of actions as you accomplish things in your life, because one builds upon the other. So as you do this, then your health will improve. Your mindset will improve. You'll find that you'll feel happier and more successful. And that's when you start to rule your world. That's when you start to get things done and have an influence. That's when you can control your world. That's when you don't have to use coercion. You don't have to use domination. It's simply about the force that you can create by being impeccable with your every move. Let us show you how to fire your brain in ways that serve you so that you can be confident, connected, and bring joy and passion into what you do every day. Get a free copy of my book, The Innate Model. Go to theinnatemodel.com/free book.